Hello and welcome to Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. I am Mark Hoffmeyer.
And I am Jay Cluett.
And joining us is the creator, producer, director, voiceover, producer, editor of the Seven Lamb Productions empire. It's Robert Lamb.
Hello, everyone.
I just want to say thank you, Robert, for joining us. And if you go to Robert's Seven Lamb Productions Instagram page, Robert went into his pool yesterday on a shark inflatable dummy.
Yep.
And he had this guy named Jack Austin who does the Alter Ego podcast with Robert on Seven Lamb Productions, and he just pulled you around a pool for a half hour.
Well, we also do reenactments just in case we're ever at the beach and a shark does attack. We know what to do. So we reverse roles a lot. There's a lot of thrashing about, but basically we want to be, ready for that shark attack that's inevitably going to come.
Yeah, in St. Pete, it comes at you.
Oh, I mean, we're surrounded by water on three sides. That's a peninsula, just in case you're wondering.
And Jack's a big guy, so does he swim at you in the pool and you flip over him and then grab onto his back?
Jack's so big that he takes up half the pool. So it's like, and I don't mean like big. I mean like he's just a tall guy. So like he just reaches and, I got to get out of there. You know what I mean? Like I know sharks don't have like a good reach necessarily, but I gotta be able to get under him, over him, around him, kind of how Thomas Jane does when he does his little flip. You know what I mean?
Wow. So when you were getting dragged around your pool, with Jack dragging you, what did you get into the headspace of Carter? Like, what did you? Did you appreciate his journey?
Well, first off, Jack has to wear a fin on his back, right? Because that's how I'm gonna grab onto him. That's where you have to reach, right? That's how like regular ocean divers do it. So obviously Thomas Jane knows what he's doing because that's a factual thing. That's where you grab a shark. So to get kind of that flip in the water isn't easy, but we've been practicing a long time now.
Oh man. And Robert also walked across the United States in preparation for our A Walk to Remember episode, the Nicholas Sparks Mandy Moore movie.
I did it for Mandy Moore. Now I know that's not really like a cause, but I thought it was at that time.
Well, she's great.
It was pre what's that show?
This Is Us.
Yeah. It was pre that, so I was worried that she wasn't going to get any more jobs.
Yeah.
So I did. That was my cause as I walked.
Oh man. And then it was a memorable walk, and then we had a great episode about A Walk to Remember.
Yeah, I thought so. My favorite part of A Walk to Remember is Peter Coyote is her dad. That's all I know from it.
That's okay.
That's all I know about the movie.
If I had to rank the Nicholas Sparks films, it's basically Notebook and A Walk to Remember in the top two.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
And then, you guys, so I do a lot of dumb data over at Movies, Films, and Flicks, and Robert's been on, both of you guys have been on a lot of episodes of the podcast, but I did a thing where I analyzed the posters of Nicholas Sparks films. And
right.
I realized that it's mostly just dudes face palming women.
Right.
But the posters what's up?
Isn't there rain involved a lot of times?
Oh yeah. There's basically beach cuddles, a man palming a woman's face, but then the outliers are the Notebook where Rachel McAdams is palming Ryan Gosling's face.
Yeah.
And it's raining. And then A Walk to Remember, she's just walking. So those are the two best movies, and there's no dudes face palming a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously that's the common denominator of what makes a good Nicholas Sparks movie. They must know ahead of time because they make the posters afterwards, right? So
yeah,
if this movie's not going to be that great, have them facepalm.
The marketing department it went facepalm insane for years.
What about Nights in Rodante?
That's cuddles.
Oh, that was
beach cuddles.
Okay.
Message in a Bottle, beach cuddles. Why do I know this?
There's more Nicholas Sparks films than I thought. Like for me to rank them, the rank would be The Notebook and End of List, because that's all I've seen. I think I've seen some bits of Dear John, and I don't want to see any more of Dear John. Aren't they all the same?
I forgot about Dear John.
Oh, Dear John's top 5 for sure, because you got Amanda Seyfried and Channing Tatum.
What's the one with? And I could be wrong. I could be thinking of just a. Well, no, it's Zac Efron.
That's The Longest Ride is with Scott Eastwood. That one's not terrible.
Is that the cowboy?
That one's okay. No, this is one where he's back from war. The Quiet.
They're always back from war.
Yeah, but he's back. he's back from war. He has a picture of this lady, and he goes to her farm. And that one's a face palmer.
I tried that one time, and the guy just chased me off his. I was like, I thought you had maybe a daughter I could meet.
You showed up saying you're during your walk to remember just with random photos.
Yeah, I was trying. Man. I was trying to meet somebody. I wanted something like romantic to happen on my walk, and it just didn't work. But it was a walk to remember.
So what happened to Shane West, like the male lead of A Walk to Remember? Because he's great in ER. I recently watched all of ER for the first time, and he's in like 70 episodes. He left it in 2009, and since then he just kind of disappeared.
So like,
can we talk about how John Leguizamo was kind of screwed over on ER?
Yeah, he was barely in it. Yeah, he had a season where he played a not a great character. Tucci had the same. Stanley Tucci was in a few episodes, and he just played a complete arsehole, and then he's like left the show.
John Leguizamo shows up. They give him a drug habit. That's the only reason I watched ER. I'm like, what is this garbage? So I
hey, it's Michael Crichton.
Or like The Pest.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So Shane West, he went on to Gotham. He went on to Salem. He was in Nikita. So he acts. He's been acting solid.
Oh, he just acts in things I don't see. That's fair enough.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Shane West works.
Shane West
was in he was in Ocean's 11, right? The first one, or at least the first one. I don't know if he was in the other ones.
Oh yeah, with Topher.
I don't think he was. I think he kind of fits into that realm, but I don't think he was one of those guys.
See, I thought he was because, okay, this is why I say that. A long time ago, my first girlfriend ever had a crush on Shane West, and she mentioned A Walk to Remember. I think that's the first movie she saw him in. And then I swear we went and saw Ocean's 11. I didn't even know the guy because I didn't watch A Walk to Remember. But then I remember her mentioning him like, oh, look, Ocean's 11 has this guy and Shane West. Oh, my God, this is like the best male ensemble I've seen ever. Something. I could be making that up, but I'm pretty sure that's the movie.
I'm looking it up, and he's not in it. I think that the scene with Topher Grace. I think you've got like Joshua Jackson's in there, and Holly Marie Coombs from
Seventh Heaven, right? Yeah.
But I mean, Shane West does look a little bit like Khan, like Scott Khan, I think, in that. So maybe she was confused with. Perhaps I don't know.
It makes sense that we're talking about Ocean's 11 and Deep Blue Sea.
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
I just want to say I was horribly wrong, and in the Knights in Rodin photo, it's Richard Gere double face palming Diane Lane.
We need to start our podcast again.
Yeah. Dear John, all right. So here's how it goes. Safe Haven face palm, Best of Me face palm, Dear John beach cuddles, Last Song face palm, Knights in Rodin face palm. The Notebook, Rachel McAdams face palming Ryan Gosling, Message in a Bottle, beach cuddles. Walk to Remember, regular cuddles. The Choice, kind of outdoor cuddle, but they look like they're on a beach. Longest Ride, the guy is grabbing the lady's cowboy hat, which I guess counts as no, that's not a face palm. But yeah, I would say the best movies don't have the dude face palming the lady.
If you had to just think about it, like how often have you face palmed your significant other? Like, is it a lot or never?
Well, I can't think of the last time I face palmed Megan.
that's what
I mean, face palm, no, but my wife particularly hates it when the line where she's hello comes on, and I like wipe my hand down the side of her face. She absolutely hates that. So often that happens.
Oh,
I do the face off.
The face waterfall. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to.
Oh God. So I have a question in this scene from Deep Blue Sea. So Dr. Susan McAllister was eaten. Carter Blake's in the water, and Carter Blake does his trick, which he does Chekhov's shark flip and grabs onto the shark fin. But this shark is really smart. What if the shark just spun around and whapped him with his tail? She whapped him with her tail, as opposed to just doing the thing that, I mean, I don't think she wanted to kill Carter. She could have ran Carter into everything down there, but she didn't.
Well, do you think the shark, when it went through eventually the fence, like, do you think that was its plan? That's how it was going to get rid of it? Kind of like, just go through it, knock him off?
Yeah.
Really try.
Yeah. The shark did not want to kill him.
The shark doesn't care if he's on there or not. it just wants to get out and go, and like, well, actually saying that, Preacher took out an eye, so it doesn't know that Carter doesn't have an implement to take out his other eye.
Also, maybe it thinks that Carter is evolving and is going to be like a remora fish and actually pick all the parasites and little fish off of the shark eventually.
Wow. So this is like Shape of Water, where he falls in love with her?
Yeah, and he just becomes a remora and just starts like swimming. Carter develops a suction cup-like head and just hangs on the shark for the rest of its life.
Wow.
I can see that happening, yeah.
It could. Evolution.
His head is like a suction cup.
Feed him nothing but eggs?
Now that's a song.
What is it?
His head is like a suction cup. Deep is blue, it says like a suction cup.
It's hard to rhyme, but I think it would work.
Oh, he just runs.
You'd have to stick to the back of the shark, otherwise you're really going to impede its flow in the water, I think. It's going to be like immense drag if you just have a Thomas Jane sticking out the side of your shark perpendicular from the rest of it.
Thomas Jane is just like picking off like little bacterium and like little fish and just eating them.
Just munching. And the shark kind of throws him a bone every now and then, goes down to a boat deep in the ocean, and they treasure hunt together.
Yeah. He gets the scraps of whatever the shark is eating too, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. This is this is the last shark we have left, so maybe it's trying to form a new family, a new clan. Pod? Yeah. What's the collective noun for a shark? Is it a school of sharks?
It's a flock of sharks.
A flock of sharks, of course. That famous haircut.
Well, it would be a school, right? Because they're technically fish.
Yeah.
Do you call it a school of dolphins?
No, I call it a murder of sharks.
It's a hey. I think it's a pod of dolphins because they're not fish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pod. Yeah, it's pod because it's whales, I think, is a pod, too.
Oh, it's a shiver of sharks.
It's a shiver?
Nice.
It's a shiver.
Wow.
What the hell?
Do you think the shark would have kind of pulled a U-turn and picked up Preacher to join them, or is the shark still mad that Preacher killed its dad or mom?
So I imagine that, like the sea turtle, sometimes sea turtles get too many remoras on them, and it weighs them down and actually slows them down even more than they already are, and it's like harder for them to eat and stuff like that and to traverse and everything.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, this is real. So no, it is. So it slows them down and they get too many remora on them. Like you can look up videos where like certain fish and certain like sea turtles and stuff will get they'll have like 40 remora fish on them. So I think the shark, if he had like Preacher on him too, because they're bigger, like they're human size because they're humans. I think it weighs him down and he can't hunt. How he like normally would.
Got it. So one's enough.
I think one Thomas Jane suction cup to your body is probably enough. Yeah.
For most people, too many.
Yeah, I think that too.
That's a quick evolution.
Well, if you think about Shape of Water,
she immediately is able, so she gets killed and then she's immediately able to live in water.
Well, I mean, that helps with having a magical being who can give her gills. So I don't think the shark is magic, but who knows?
I mean, they're not magical; they're just smart sharks.
Yeah.
Well, how smart do you have to be until you eventually become magic? Could they have increased the shark's brain size so much that it becomes magic? They've increased its brain enough that it can modify its own body to swim backwards. Can it modify other people's bodies to have suction cup heads? I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility.
What happened in Lucy?
Magic evolved from smartness. Like it's like Ricky Jay and like David Blaine. Like, are they just really smart?
Yep.
Like, is that okay?
Absolutely. Well, maybe not David Blaine.
Have you seen the video where like David Blaine goes with those guys and takes their cards and they're just freaking out with David Blaine? That kind of David Blaine magic card thing. Like, stop messing with me, David Blaine.
I kind of stopped following him when he's like, it's magic. I'm in a box above the Thames for a month. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
It's not really magic. It seems uncomfortable.
You can be miserable for a long time.
Yeah, he perseveres. That's really what it is.
Yeah. It's not magic.
It's not magic. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, okay, because in the movie Lucy, ScarJo gets a pill that makes her super, super smart, and then she becomes a big blob and then enters the internet, I believe.
Yeah, but before that point, she's able to like